Today I will be going over running back handcuffs. These players you should be targeting towards the end of your drafts. Some main themes: great offenses, run-first offenses, and talented backups. These players hit one, if not more, of these themes. I'm really excited. Let's get to it. First up is Alexander Mattison. Last year, Mattison averaged 4.6 yards per carry on a 21.8% snap share. He didn't put up any great numbers because he served as a backup to the workhorse back in Dalvin Cook. But if anybody watched Mattison play last year, you often mistook him for Dalvin. And to be honest, towards the end of the year, when Dalvin was wearing down a bit, running more out of bounds and not breaking as many tackles, Mattison was a breath of fresh air coming off the bench. The dude welcomed contact, breaking tackles on nearly every run. His quick feet and breakaway speed is exactly what you want in a running back. We also have to keep in mind that Dalvin has an injury history. With his knee and his hamstring, Minnesota is a run-first offense that will lean heavily on Mattison if Cook were to ever go down. Let's move on to Latavius Murray. Last season, he had 637 rushing yards, 235 receiving yards on 34 receptions with 5 rushing touchdowns. So he's on a great offense. And Latavius is a much different back than Kamara. Murray tends to run upright. He tends to run more north to south as opposed to gutting from side to side. And he's definitely considered a one-cut type of back. So he has a very different play style compared to the shifty, quick, agile Kamara. But he showed that he could get it done. And he did get it done while Kamara was limited with his ankle injury. In the 2 games that Murray was given more than 20 touches last year, he went for 27 and 27.7 fantasy points in each game. If Kamara were to ever go down, Murray would receive a heavy workload, and the payoff would be pretty handsome. Let's move on to J.K. Dobbins. Last year at OSU, he ran for over 2,000 rushing yards, averaging 6.7 yards per carry with a total of 23 touchdowns. This dude is talented. He's on a run-heavy offense that scored the most points in the league and ran for the most yards in the league. There is a chance that Dobbins beats out Ingram for this role straight up later in the year, with Ingram turning to the oh-so-deadly age of 30 for running backs. Another scenario would be if Ingram were to go down with injury. Dobbins would assume the lead role also. Dobbins is a better route runner than Ingram and has plenty of experience excelling in option plays and in plays starting from the gun, which makes him a great fit on this offense with reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. His explosiveness and physicality would make him a potential league winner if Ingram were to ever go down. Alright, now let's move on to Tony Pollard. Pollard plays backup for a top 5 offense heading into the year. The Cowboys were ranked first in total yards and 6th in points per game. This is pretty simple. If Zeke were to go down, Pollard would be the go-to back. The Cowboys like to give the lead back the responsibility, so the one guy that would be Pollard. He would be that guy. Pollard was efficient with his touches last year, averaging over 5 yards per carry, and he was able to find the end zone a few times on limited work. The situation, it's just perfect. Dak and the Cowboys posted the 2nd best passing offense in the league last year. Now, having an extra year, being able to build chemistry with first-year Cowboys players like Amari and Gallup, and they even added CeeDee Lamb in the draft. Good luck stacking against the box with this wide receiver group. There is going to be running room for days. Alright, this next one shouldn't even be on this list, but he is. So it's Kareem Hunt. And he shouldn't be on this list because he has standalone value, but he's on this list because this dude is just the league's most valuable handcuff. He had 37 receptions and 289 receiving yards, 3 total touchdowns on a 54.1% snap share in the final 8 games of the season. So this one's obvious. Straight up, the best backup running back in the league. If not for his suspension because of that terrible off-field video, he would still be a starter. He's an RB2 without a Chubb injury, and he's an instant top 5 RB if Chubb goes down. Let's move on to Chase Edmonds. He's second in line to Kenyon Drake. for what could be a top 6 to 7 offensive team in the league this year. Edmonds showed spurts that he can play well, and he's entering his second year in the league. Kenyon Drake hasn't shown that he's the type of back to deal with 250 to 300 touches in a season. The most touches that he's had in a season was last year, with 220. It's good that he doesn't have as much of an injury history and that he doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires, but he may be in a position to touch the ball more times this year than at any point in his career so far. So grab Edmonds at the end of drafts. You can potentially have a top 10 running back if Drake can't handle the workload or if he goes down with injury. The honorable mention goes to Darrington Evans. He's the replacement for Dion Lewis in this offense. He will be a quick, speedster, third down back kind of guy. Let's keep an eye out on free agency and see if the Titans sign a bigger back to work behind Derrick Henry. So he doesn't have standalone value, but his volume would increase a lot if Derrick Henry would succumb to injury due to his heavy workload. If you want more quality content to crush your league, subscribe so you don't miss anything. I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you guys on the next vid.